wall so you can keep looking at me?
Greatest question ever.
I would say. The thing is, over the last 9 seasons, for me, what I really enjoy in the show, I do really enjoy some of the visual effects and a lot of the stunts and physical work that we do. And the directing, I think moving into the directing side of it has been very exciting for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question.
I love the show, and I would love to see it go to season 10.
Who wants to see it go to season 10? You know what? There are people from Warner Brothers that are here. I'm not sure they heard you.
Yeah.
They obviously have an opinion.
That being said, this question's for Tom or anybody on the panel. Because you're not so sure you could get to season 10, even though I know you will. What other challenges of deciding whether to stall a storyline or get to the end game of the show?
Kelly, Brian?
That's, you know what, to be honest, a lot of that lies in the writer's room. And luckily we have an amazing writing staff, and honestly everybody's brain is sort of functioning on 2 levels when we're approaching that last run of the season, because the same thing happened last year. We actually had 2 different episodes for the final episode because we weren't quite sure at a certain point, and everybody just, I don't know, it's just, they're incredible. The energy in there is really incredible, and they have figured it all out. It's all done. Like, we've just sort of thought about how we would end it if it's this year, and if not, then there's always more story. That's the beauty of it.
And I would just add that the challenge isn't in stalling, because we never try to stall. The challenge is when you're not stalling and you're moving really fast, where do you go next? But what is great about the character of Clark Kent is that, I have to say, the moment that Kelly and I read the pilot, we were like, this is brilliant, because it takes a character that we all know and it plunges him into a place of discovery where you really get to see the struggle that is inside Clark Kent as he's deciding to become Superman. And every year we're like, are there more struggles and are there more issues that come up? And we have pretty much 2 seasons worth of stories to tell, actually, at this point. So we're not really worried about stalling.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you.
Next question.
Yeah, hi, I just want to say I've been a big fan since the first season. I started as a freshman in high school when you guys did too, so it's really relatable for me. But the question I have is with regards to new characters this season from the DC Universe. Are we going to see anyone new?
You'll be seeing John Corbin, you're going to see Metallo for the first 2 episodes, and we'll see about more. And then we have a couple we can't announce because we're waiting to announce them when we cast them, but you will also be seeing the return of Toyman, you'll be seeing Roulette, and so we have some fun stories coming up.
Thanks again for you guys. Enjoy.
Next question.
Hi, my name is Tyler. This is my first time here at Comic-Con.
Welcome.
Thank you. Oh, and my question is, are we going to be seeing more of Green Arrow in this season?
Yeah, a little bit more, I think. Right? A lot more. Yeah, a lot more, yeah. It'll be good.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Green Arrow's journey, because he kind of had sort of a hard time last year.
So it'll be, we're gonna go back a little bit, and you know, last year I had a chance to play him kind of broken down a little bit, and then we jumped right out of it, and he was like, you know, it was over, and you know, he had figured out all of his problems, and he'd come to some kind of resolution, and then we find out this year that in fact that is not quite what happened, and he's struggling, isn't he? He's really, really struggling. So, and that's gonna go on for a while, I guess, right? And you know more about it than I do, so go ahead.
In the first 8 episodes, we're going to see him hit rock bottom, and we'll see what happens then.
Yeah.
Would you guys want to see more Green Arrow? Next question.
Hi guys. My
Hi.
name's Danielle. Okay, so I have a question for the whole panel. So, how is it that you guys get into character every show and every season that you guys do? And Justin and Tom, you both can stare at me as long as you want.
Just drinking. Just a lot of drinking.
Is it like really hard for you guys to get into characters?
Let's just start down here at this end. Justin, you want to talk about how you
To get into character?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, I'm sure the process is different for everybody, and I'm sure that, I know personally, it depends on what I'm doing in that particular day or in that episode or that scene or whatever. So my process, it starts from reading the script, obviously, and then I read the script for the story, and then I read the script for the character, and then I keep rereading it. But it really depends on what you're doing. I mean, if you're playing the Green Arrow superhero guy, or if you're doing, you could be, fighting. You could be a love scene. You never know. So for me, the process is always
Erica?
the same, different, whatever.
He stole my answer, but I am not unlike Lois in the fact that my brain kind of goes, and my castmates have to be very, very patient with me to kind of get me to settle down. But depending on what I'm doing, is how I affect how I do something and do a scene. But what I love is that we all kind of work together and try to find the truth of it and just be really, really open with each other and tell the story and take what the writers gave us and make something real.
Tom? Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah, I have to start at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I think for me, it's the question I had for Kelly is only half kidding, because we have a writing staff who's incredible, who not only as actors do we have to get in character on set, but they have to, even before we're ever around, get into the heads of those characters as well. And I think as great a job as they do, that only helps us do what we do on set.
I'm a super collaborative person, and so when I work, usually the best way that I get into character is really working with my fellow actors and the directors. So I have been known to pull Tom aside and have lengthy discussions about the scene and what it is that we're trying to say and how it relates to what's going on for me personally or globally or whatever. And I like looking at things from a kind of macrocosmic level, so I really like looking at our show and relating it to what's going on in the world, and that really helps me kind of get my brain going and get excited about what we're doing and what we're saying and the stories that we're trying to relay to our audiences. The character is I've been playing her for so long, so really it's just a matter of putting the words in my mouth and she's there. But I like to know that there's more to the show than just a story about a boy on a farm. And I utilize the people that I work with to kind of strengthen that and make it bigger.
Cassidy?
Tess is a lot different than I am, and so I had to sometimes I'll sit and I'll read a script and I'll think, what would Tess do in this situation? And I really, even only being on the show for a year, you start to get to know these people. And again, the writers, like Tom said, they write for this character, and it's so collaborative. Everyone gets together. But I love to read it to kind of know where she's coming from. And then I absolutely love playing once we're in there and getting to just do things off the spur of the moment. That's the stuff that I think is most exciting.